And we are on. We are on. What is up, Ivo? Mr. Ivo Bove right here.
How's it going, Alex?
Back on Galaxy right here, man. Man, it's been a week. No, it's been a couple of years. So awesome, man. What's going on, Ivo? How you doing, bud?
Not much, just riding the circus.
Sorry I can't have you here at my house. We can actually. This whole COVID thing, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think eventually we'll do one here at the big table, but I figured we figured we just get together and do a quick little session here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great, man. Good to see you, bro. What's been
Yeah.
happening?
Not much, just my just taking care of my short-term rental business and looking forward to traveling soon. A friend of mine just drove in from Mexico, and was it 3 weeks ago? I was almost tempted to go, drive across the border with him again, but I had to take care of stuff here. But so with
And
like,
how long ago was it that you went with him across the border? This guy?
oh no,
How long you
no,
been?
he came and I could have went with him, but I had to take care of some business here. I can't really leave till September, so.
Wow.
But yeah, just wanna
Just to let
like to go to a little beach,
just just to let some of the viewers know and whatever little subscribers I have right now that Ivo has been traveling for quite some time. I think he just recently went down to South America right when the pandemic happened, right? Like right when we
yeah,
got.
yeah. I was actually in Colombia, and as this was happening, I was trying to gauge, what was going on.
It was in March. You left in early March, right?
Yeah, March 2nd, and I came back the
Okay.
25th. I had to cut my trip short a few days just because they were closing the airports on Monday, and my flight was on Tuesday or no, on Wednesday, I think.
Right.
And I was able to leave that Saturday. Before they closed the airports, and over there they had some pretty heavy draconian measures. Basically, if you don't have a permit to, you don't have you can't prove that you're going to a job, they didn't want you circulating on the streets. So took a
Wow.
taxi and went to the airport. And if you didn't have a ticket, you can't go into the airport. But I was able to show them, on my phone, I have a ticket, but I need to change the days, and I was able to get in.
Wow, that's crazy. So like you
But
were
just
over there March 2nd and then things escalated a couple of weeks into your vacation there down.
and a friend of mine, he was going to Cali, Colombia, and by bus, and he was like, "Hey, come with me." I said, "Nah, let me see what's gonna happen here because I don't want to get stuck." And good thing I didn't go with him because then they closed all the different borders between the different regions, and so I would have been stuck, and I would have been stuck till potentially September because technically there's potentially opening the airports in I believe
Wow.
September, October, but it looks like they're going to be delayed.
Dude, I didn't know it got that serious in South America when the pandemic hit.
Well, it depends. I was surprised too because in Latin America in general, it's just it seems to me that in all my years of being in Latin America since the 80s, is that the people are a little bit harder to control, but they have even harsher measures. Well, in Colombia, we can speak of than in the U.S. And then I know other countries with harsh measures. This was Panama. Panama, I think, is even harsher.
Wow.
Yeah, different ones have different measures they put into place. So, but yeah, I was able to get out of there, and I needed to come back so I can take care of things here.
It sounds like you barely made it out of there.
Yeah, I barely made it
Yeah,
out.
because
They parlay my way to get into the airport because
you
my ticket wasn't for that day, and you're only allowed to get in the airport with a ticket from that day. And there's a lot of people sleeping on the floor in the airport because their flights got canceled, and they
right.
had their connection, their flight connection.
Yeah, things got crazy in just a matter of days, and you were down in South America. They shut the bars there right after St. Patty's Day, and then I was thinking about it. It's like, man, I wonder what's Ivo gonna do, and then I don't know if you posted anything that you were gonna make it out, but anyways, I think you did end up posting that you're on your way home. I don't know if you posted it or you sent me a
Yeah.
text, but
And people, yeah, no, I think I posted it. I was, I
wow,
did
yeah,
checking. I was on flying, and people like, what?
yeah,
They're open? Yeah, the airport's open. The borders,
that was, and
borders are
then and then
open. Yeah.
yeah, you had mentioned that you visited some friends down there, and then you saw a video of the neighborhood after you left, and it was just chaos. It was just police,
Yeah,
the
where my
streets, and
friend has a restaurant. Yeah, well, because it's in a not so good part of town, but yeah, let's put it that
yeah,
way. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy, man.
different areas.
You
Yeah.
yeah, you seem to always work your way out of situations, man, in your travels, dude. Even in the past when you're taking a stroll right through Beirut and you're taking pictures of tanks.
Yeah.
and security guard all over the streets. Not that anyone or myself was like currently updated to how Beirut was then. I forgot. That was like what, 10 years
Nah, it
ago,
wasn't,
maybe?
it wasn't wartime or anything. It's just that they were still suffering the repercussions being under
Yeah, there
the
was still military on the streets.
being next to Israel, and Israel bombarded,
Yeah.
them,
That was what, 2011? No, right before 20, that was 2008.
no, that was 2011 or 10. No, 2010, 2010.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember some of us were Facebook. I don't know. I read a couple of comments. Ivo, cuídate, or hey man, you better get out of there, come back home. Like all of us were worried about you. Then
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh man, everything's cool. And you're walking through a village and you're taking all these pictures of this
That's funny.
village and you're just strolling right through everything and you
I
ended
like
up,
because I was in Syria during Ramadan, and it's cool. It's probably the
yeah,
most hospitable kind. It's just the Muslim nations in general; they're pretty hospitable, and especially during
yeah,
Ramadan.
yeah,
We had a table in the middle of the street for people, workers that maybe they live in the village and they can't make it home for supper because they fast all day until sundown, and
yeah,
so. During Ramadan, and now they invited me to sit at the table, and I always learn like 20 words in each language of places I go to. Like thank you,
the
this, like
20 essential.
basic things to be able to
Yeah,
point at things and things like that. But yeah, it was interesting.
that's pretty cool. Well, you've been doing it for quite a long time
Yeah,
now. It's always
uh,
interesting
yeah, I like
when,
to dive in and be with the locals. There's different types of travel, and
I
I
love
like
that you focused
locals.
on your travels and didn't do this holding the camera, walking through every house and city and doing a vlog on everything. You
Well,
might have videotaped some things, but you didn't go full on like, man, Ivo should do a vlog or he should have
and
done
I've always
this.
had people tell me that, hey, why don't you have, you should film everything and they want to do a show or something. Well, if you want to follow me with a camera, that's fine.
I
But
know me and
it's just that
me and C Ray talked about it, but we just never had the balls.
because if you're taking pictures and videos, you lose the moment, all
Yeah,
the
no,
time. I
absolutely.
do take pictures, I do take videos, but I mean, it's
No,
just
for sure. I kind of knew that. I was like, I was in the moment, man. I mean, it's just like, well, you took pictures as you were going along and then you posted, but nothing serious where like you just holding this camera and like a lot of people do. But no,
yeah,
that's great. You still have a lot of great photos on your Facebook.
yeah,
I bet
thanks.
you still have some amazing photos on your MySpace.
Who knows? I haven't dived into that in a long time. You're the one who turned me into social media. Remember, you were the one who told me about MySpace. It's like,
I
yeah, you
think
can
I
have your
think
own
James
page.
English James English told me about MySpace, and then me and Max caught on, and then I guess I told you that was like 2003 or 2004. But James English was all over it.
Something like that. Yeah, because I remember back in that time when I was on MySpace, I had High Five for Latin America and then I had Orkuchi, or it's Orchid for Brazil, my Brazilian friends. And so I
Yeah.
had all these different accounts, social media accounts. And then when finally Facebook came out and that took over all of them to where.
But you were also on Couchsurf, which was another.
But that's different. That's for traveling. That's a different
But
type
you
of.
got a ton of friends on Couchsurf, man. I remember I was trying to get in, and I added you as a friend, and then I saw how many friends you had. And you had like over 1,500 friends, and
No,
I
not
had
on
like, I think
not
I
on
had like
couch surfing.
three.
Yeah, yeah, no, not 1,500. But on couch surfing, that one I do only.
Yeah.
Well, before they sold the couch surfing back in, I don't know when they sold the company. Was it 2008? I don't remember. 2008 at 7. I don't remember, but it was, you could only add people that you knew because you had to
Yeah.
verify, okay, where did you meet, blah blah blah, and all this
Right.
stuff. Now they sold the company. It changed ever since they sold it. Now
It's
they
not
try
the
to turn
same.
it into like a Facebook where you can
Wow.
add anybody and without knowing them, and that kind of undermines the security of the site because
How
you're
fortunate
talking to
that
people that
that
you
you
know.
how fortunate that you did all that traveling and exploration the past almost 20 years of your life, and now here we are in this huge world pandemic.
Yeah.
um, and I don't think a lot of places, like I don't think Europe won't let any American flights in. Some countries won't let American flights in.
So they say. I don't know. I have a European passport as well, but yeah, I know how to cross borders without doing the immigration thing. Wait, but you're gonna post this on YouTube?
I can edit that out if you want.
No, but I mean, well, some countries depends on, I know I've crossed borders where I had to go look for the immigration, or else I would, I had to go look for them. Here, please stamp my passport. you know,
Yeah, it's
I
been
can
frustrating.
enter the
Yeah.
country legally.
And that was back 10, 15 years ago.
No, the last time I had to go chase down an immigration office. Mm, I'd say 2015.
Wow. And that was in South America, right?
Yes, I think it was in Central America. But
Yeah.
yeah, the different countries in South and Central America, I've had to
Yeah.
cross and go look
So,
for the immigration, or else I would have just been in there indefinitely, and they wouldn't know. You know,
yeah,
I don't know if anything has
you would have
changed.
made the best of it anyway, because that's
Yeah,
what you do,
but,
man. You just,
but of course,
it don't
in the
matter.
U.S. or maybe Europe, it might be a little bit
Yeah.
harder. I
So
don't know.
the last place you went again was right when pandemic hit, and that's when you went back down to Colombia and you took a short little vacation because
Yeah, actually,
uh, you started you started your own business here, and
yeah.
then you wanted to take a break, and you went down there, and now you're back. But do you miss traveling as much as you used to travel? Like you used to
I
travel
do.
years
I
at a
like it.
time.
Yeah, yeah, I like it because traveling, it keeps you living in the moment, in the present moment.
It's
When
a
you're
constant
traveling, I
gift,
mean, there's other things you can do. Anything artistic will keep you in the present moment, whether that's drawing, whether it's playing music, whether it's
right?
writing poetry, anything that where you're focused on something in the present. But traveling kind of does that too, even though it's not artistic, but you're moving your new environment, so everything is new. If you're constantly moving,
I
but
don't know,
now,
but I kind of see that as art too. You know, you're going into a new place that you've never been before. And I bet some of those places you're like, hey man, I've been here, but not in the physical.
yeah. Now lately, I just keep repeating the same places that I've already been to, so it's really not new. But it kind of keeps you more in the present moment, and
Yeah.
you
Meeting the
really,
people and
yeah, you
uh,
grow exponentially. You learn about a lot about yourself because anytime
yeah,
you take yourself outside of your box,
comfort
if you
zone.
want to call it comfort zone or where, or your box or what you're used to, I don't know if it necessarily has to be a comfort zone, but anytime you're outside of that, it allows for tremendous exponential self growth. And the more you do it, the more you grow, and the more you learn. You basically go and you go to other countries, and through other cultures, you learn more about your own self. I think
Right. Yeah,
you meet it.
because it's a different terrain,
Mhm.
different
And
territory.
every culture deals with things differently. Certain
Yeah.
what maybe one culture deems important, another culture doesn't deem important, or what one culture deems like a difficult problem issue, another culture may deem it, hey, that's easy to overcome. So you can learn tools of how to deal with different things, and adopt things from different cultures that maybe that work better.
Yeah.
And it helps you see that maybe the way you looked at something maybe isn't the best way and not the most efficient in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm sure you've experienced some really like profound things that you never thought you would see in America or in your city or your state, like in other parts of the world, on how people do things. It could be like from the simplest thing of the simplest, like how they prepare food or what time they eat food or how they drink their alcohol or their regular drink. You know how they do everything. But what was the most profound thing
Yeah.
you ever saw that was different in your experience?
For me, I don't know. I guess it's just the generosity of people,
Yeah.
it's really, how can I generally, I mean, it's this, I guess you could say the stereotype or the general consensus is that the people with the people with the least tend to be the most generous,
Right.
and
Yeah,
as they
absolutely.
go up in, and then that's the eye opening,
Yeah, yeah, I could see that
and
totally.
yeah, that's something that really opens your eyes, and
Because there's a lot of things that I can't see, or a lot of in other countries, a lot of things that people cannot see just through television or the internet that they can't see when they're actually there in that particular place.
yeah. And what you also learn is that I've transcended a lot of I guess fear barriers, because with the
Right,
news and all throughout life. For me, my first eye opener was when I lived in Panama in 1989. Operation Just Cause. George Bush Sr. Sent the U.S. Had sent the U.S. after Noriega, and it was bombing from the
yeah, it
sky,
was a war, it was a mini war, it was
passing
a
by my house,
civil
refugees
war, right?
breaking into my house. That's
Yeah,
the first time I felt like I was gonna die, and I accepted it, and I felt like, oh, I could die. And we were in our maids' quarters there in Panama. You have homes that have maids' quarters that don't have windows. That's the way they
right.
built them from the early 1900s. Uh, and
Wow, it's just,
And
So
we
you
were
guys
there.
actually, it was that frightening to the point where y'all
Yeah,
thought
because
this
the
is
house
it.
was shaking. It was like 4th of July fireworks. It was bombarding because we had a Panamanian Defense Force police uh, force base, like I don't know, maybe like a kilometer, like from the house, like maybe no, what am I saying? Half a kilometer from the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's and then we had the tanks going by and the refugees because they a lot of the Panamanian Defense Forces, they were, I guess, went back to their neighborhoods and they blew up those neighborhoods, and there's a lot of, and they went to
Damn.
more neighborhoods and all the people came.
And I bet it was so close. It was nearby. You can hear those explosions, right?
People try to break in the house, but I really felt that was the first time I felt like, oh, that I could die, but I was comforted in that I was with my parents and my sister. So if I were to die, what
What
better
year
way?
was this again?
1989. But what
Wow.
better way to die than with the people you love, right? So that
Yeah.
I'm accepting that as oh well, this could happen, it could be reality, right? But then the thing about the news, portraying one thing, we got interviewed by, I forget what news station from the U.S. called us. They were interviewing over the phone, seeing how was our perspective of the situation. But it's interesting, how the news portrays. So this first time I also learned how the news portrays one thing, whatever the narrative may be, and if you're on the ground, what the civilians' perspective is. Obviously, the military's perspective is another, and so my father's boss, incidentally, was General Cisneros, who's a general. Well, he was a general from Texas, and that's kind of the reason why we came to San Antonio. But he was the one that handcuffed Noriega because Noriega wanted a Spanish-speaking,
And he was
you know,
General Cisneros.
yeah, to handcuff him, take him out.
Not the mayor Cisneros that was here, right? No.
No, no, but I don't know if they're related. It might be. I don't
Right.
know.
Wow.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Yeah. Wow. That's a
But
trip, man.
anyways, but yeah, so that was the first time I saw the media, how the media shows one thing, and then met my grandmother and relatives in Italy, that what their news stations were different than the U.S. news stations. And so, all growing up, then you see the news and stuff. And, when the first time I went to Colombia, people, oh, the drug lords and this and that, and everybody's afraid, oh, Colombia. Now it's
Right. Everything
America.
that we're
Now,
programmed to think about another
yeah, so
country.
I broke a lot of these barriers, like traveling, and realized, hey, it's not the way I've been conditioned or the way the media portrays all the time,
Exactly.
and, or even within the same country. Like in
Yeah.
Brazil, I stayed for a month in the biggest favela, the biggest ghetto of Brazil, in Rio,
Hmm. Rio
and
de Janeiro.
Rocinha, yeah, Rocinha, because they don't pronounce the R, Rocinha,
Okay.
in the Brazilian Portuguese, and no, I never had an issue, and I didn't look like anybody that lived in that neighborhood, but no issues,
Of course, a guy like me would stick out like a sore thumb, right? 6'5",
Well, I mean,
Bigfoot
well,
Mexican.
there are tall Brazilians. There's
Okay.
a lot of
Yeah.
tall
Yeah.
Brazilians.
Well, look at
But
the.
I mean, generally 6'5" is not, you're the minority height
Yeah.
unless you go to Holland or places
There's
where you have
giants.
really tall people.
Yeah. The
But
Nordics.
in some places in Africa, the Maasai are really tall.
Wow.
The Nordic,
Yeah. I noticed a lot of North
Nordic
people are
Europeans
super
are really tall.
tall. That's where all the giants are from.
Yeah. Well,
That's
even
super cool.
in parts of Africa, they have some really tall people. So yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, you
yeah,
kind of blended everywhere you went.
necessarily
You're
everywhere.
not tall, but you're not short. You're like just the right size. You fit in all the small cars when you were hitchhiking. Yeah. Like I wouldn't, dude, 6'5" hitchhiking in Europe. No, not
Yeah,
gonna. Yeah, I'd have it. I wouldn't be able to fit in a lot of those vehicles.
Yeah, man, I hitchhiked in Europe and I got picked up by truck drivers,
Yeah.
small cars, Mercedes, all social classes, all persuasions,
And
you name it.
typically you were, before there was Uber and Lyft or any, well, even though there is, you could have taken you could have taken the Euro train. I'm sure you experienced it, but you would
Yeah, but
to keep your
I think,
you keep your funds down. You hitchhiked a lot, right? For
well,
many, many years.
I had to analyze my budget at that time,
Right.
and I don't hitchhike anymore. Every once in a while, I hitchhike just because sometimes hitchhiking is one of the best ways to get into a culture and jump in head first. But lately, I guess as I get older, I guess I'm getting lazier. And and I don't. Before I did it because it was a budget thing, but also a cultural thing because
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
I had the money, sometimes it was because I could meet somebody, and then these same people, hey, come to my house, and you know, and
Yeah.
and hey, you learn a lot about the culture by, just hanging out with a stranger and getting into a stranger's car. But yeah, I got picked up all types of people, and no, and and I had to watch my budget. I had to cut costs. So where can I cut costs? Okay, I cut cost in accommodations. So I did couch surfing. I also had a tent with me and a hammock, and so I camped out in some places. And then I cut my transportation budget. My budget wasn't there for transportation. I cut that cost. I like this saying that says, "Where there's a will, there's a way, and where there isn't, you find an excuse," right?
Excuses. I got that
So,
from you.
and so that's the way I look at everything. If you really want
Yeah.
to do something, maybe you cannot do it right now, but eventually you might be able to do it. But if you really want to do something, you'll figure out a way to make it happen one way or another.
Right. That's awesome. And you know what? Just spoken from a man with many, many years of experience of traveling and vagabonding. Uh, you've been it all, man. The nomad for many, many years. Of course, now you're here and you're at home, and you're uh, doing work and your own business to make money and stuff. And I'm sure you want to travel again
Yeah, but
sometime
my
soon.
business I can do it remotely, and I was running it
Yeah.
out of out of
Yeah.
Colombia, ran it out of
You're working
Mexico.
for yourself.
I'm kind of weary about going to like really far, like Europe or Asia, because being in Mexico or Colombia, maybe you're a 3 hour flight away, 5 hour flight.
Yeah.
And if you have an emergency, you can come back quick. But once you're halfway around the world, that gets more complicated
It's
with
a day or
flights.
two of flying. Yeah.
More costly. No, one day, but
About a day. Full
costly.
day. Yeah.
Sometimes 30 hours if you're in Asia sometimes. But yeah, it's costly. So that's the thing. I don't venture out too far because of this business, but I may. But yeah, I was running when I was in Colombia. Yeah,
Yeah.
just remotely. The first time a book that really well, I was already applying some of the principles before I read it, but there's a book called The 4 Hour Work Week.
Mm-hmm.
Came out in 2007, and yeah, it talks about outsourcing your lifestyle or outsourcing your life. If you own a business, I mean, getting certain things automated. This is when internet was still, yeah, I mean,
Right.
getting somebody in India to if you need a call center for someone to do a task, so that frees up your time so you can do other things. So applying those principles a lot from that. Well, I mean, I was already doing some of those because I was doing house hacking, whereas you rent furnished rooms out of the home. If I had a 5 bedroom home and I was renting furnished rooms, because I grew up in different countries and I never really got to grow up with my full family in the same city, right?
Right.
And so we always for Christmas I was always used to having neighbors or friends over
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't have our extended family with us.
Right.
So for me, went back then and when I started house hacking in 2007, um,
Yeah. No, I
that allowed
remember
me
that.
to make income, and then I left, and then it allowed me to make money to travel.
Right. Everything that you've invested in, you've made
I mean,
money to
everything I try to
travel.
do, whatever other kind of job I do, whatever I want to be it to something that I don't have to stay in one
So
place,
that's a
something that
really good tool. That's a really good tool to utilize for many others that don't know is to invest in something that you can make money out of so that you can do something that you love.
yeah, it's just that afraid. I mean, you're still going to invest time in what you do. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as a business that doesn't require your time, at least
Right. Of course. Of
until
course.
you're really successful and you
Or,
got
buying and selling
you're
and
running
making
it.
a huge amount of chump change and then take off for a little
But
while and then come back.
but at least you can, something that you can run. You still got to devote time to it, but something
Oh,
that you can
absolutely.
run remotely. It's kind of gives you freedom, and I like the freedom, and also the freedom of who knows what's going to happen. For example, with this COVID,
Yeah.
you know, like right now you have to have a mask to go into a grocery store. That's fine. Everyone has a policy. Every store has a policy, but even jobs, you have to have a mask to go if you're going to be working at a job. But if and you might have to be subjected to who knows what will happen in the future with the vaccine. Maybe they won't let you work if you don't have the vaccine. Who knows if they'll
Exactly.
let you work if you don't get tested, and maybe you have to get tested weekly, or maybe you have to get tested monthly. We know all these things that are imposed on people that if you work for somebody else. But if you work for yourself, I guess you have more freedoms to not be subjected to that kind of treatment.
Exactly. Which is probably why I bet a lot of people are actually thinking about starting their own businesses even now, especially with food, because I noticed that a lot of the eateries and restaurants are still full capacity, not full capacity, but at the rate that they'll allow, 25% or 50% capacity. And I pass by restaurants as I'm, driving, and they're pretty full. You see lines at the fast food chains. You see the lines of cars. Everybody's just out wanting to eat out. I
Yeah, and
mean,
that, yeah, and then because I do, because I have the short-term rentals, and sometimes I check, I check my outdoor cameras from time to time, and I see a lot of the guests they just order what is it called, DoorDash? Yeah, that's the big
yeah,
thing.
DoorDash, Postmates, and all
Sometimes
those
they
other.
ring the doorbell, so when they ring the doorbells, it goes to my phone. So every once in a while, I'll check it. Okay, it's another DoorDash.
Yeah, you see a guy
So,
out there with a bag full of food to go.
yeah,
Wow, that's going really well for you, right? You've been doing that for quite. You set that up a couple years already, or in a couple
yeah.
years,
Well, but yeah, before I did it out of a house, but now I do apartments, and I do apartments in one home.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then when pandemic hit, everyone took a hit right in the beginning.
Well, I took a hit. Yeah, I had a lot of cancellation, and Airbnb, the CEO, didn't do the right thing. He started because we have cancellation policies that I have to be adhered to, and they started refunding guests, bypassing your cancellation policy. So we took a hit with that, and so I would say about for 5 weeks, we all got hit,
And then slowly but
bad.
surely back on track, maybe you
Yeah,
think
yeah, and then it started. And
somewhat.
then, well, I guess what helped it get better is because a lot of people got out of the game, but yeah, kind of hit. Luckily Texas or San Antonio and Texas in general didn't forbid short-term rentals like Florida did. So and they can put in an order for that, but luckily they didn't. But I guess in San Antonio they don't because they like their tax money that they subject short-term rentals to.
You think they still do
Without
that? Is that
without
just in the
digging into
movies?
taxation, without representation, because without without anything in return, we have to pay the same hotel taxes that big hotel chains pay. But unfortunately, they get represented in articles on and stuff like this, but we get no representation at all.
What was that
So
again? They get
What was that
represented in
again? They
what?
get represented in what?
and in different publications, different
Yes.
like
Oh, okay.
magazines,
Kind of cut off there for a
things like that,
second.
and online things, and just advertisements. They'll advertise a hotel and stuff like that because,
Oh yeah,
hey, they're paying the city 10.75%, and they're paying the state 6%. That's 16.75% in hotel taxes. So yeah. Uh,
gotta pay.
so money influences them. Not they don't. That's
Yeah,
more important than
yeah, man.
than
That's just it's
closing
been
down.
pretty sure it's been like it's
Hey,
just been the way it's been
yeah,
for many many
we can go
centuries.
on tangents. We can go on tangents.
Yeah.
How
So
I'm not fond of the
how have
certain
you
things.
how have you coped or become even, I know that your business took a hit and then it's kind of a little bit slower. Is there any new creative things that have gotten to your mind about doing something else or continuing to do what you do, or have you focused any other
I'm
part?
going to
You're
continue to do
you're a
what I do.
musician, you're a guitar player.
Yeah, but
I've
unfortunately, we know
seen
in San
you've been playing
Antonio.
some gigs here and there.
Every once in a while I play gigs, but man, they're still paying the same amount of money or even less than I was making back in 95, 94.
Yeah, it's still the standard, what, 70, $50, $75,
No,
$100.
I used to, when I first started 94, 95, I was getting paid, well, 94 when I first started really, because I mean, I did some gigs in 93 with an original band, but
But it
really when
was
I
the money
started
was
playing
good back then
professionally
though, man.
was the summer of 94 when I first
Yeah.
started playing professionally. And then with cover bands, the end of 94 and then 95 really took off. But it was $100. That was a standard back then in San Antonio. It was
Yeah.
one bill. That was the
Yeah,
standard.
we were making a killing off the cover band scene back in the 90s, man. But
Yeah,
then,
and you could make even more, but the standard was $100.
yeah, it's been $100
Yeah, you
for,
can make more, but nowadays, they haven't taken into consideration inflation. Gas back then, what was it? A dollar,
a dollar
dollar
25.
$1.25, something like that.
Yeah.
They haven't taken into consideration inflation, and they're still paying the same. Sometimes they want to, you know. But I do it whenever with a friend. Songs that I know. I'm not going to sit there and learn 30 songs for one gig. I'm just too
Right.
lazy. But I mean, and I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with music. It's always going to be part of me. But man, it's been weeks I haven't touched a guitar.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's been wow, it's almost been almost over a year since I've been on the drum kit. So
Wow.
it's a love and hate relationship too. It's like, I don't want to do this. Like, I know how to play drums, I just don't want to gig anymore. Like, I'm at that, and then every once in a while I'll miss it, and then I'll pick up a gig just to kind of, you know what I
It's
mean?
fun because And right, what are you doing? When you're playing music, it's an energy exchange between you and the audience, and that
Absolutely.
energy energizes you,
It
you know,
does.
and you feel energized right after that, right? If it's a good gig, you know, and the energy is
Yeah.
there, you know, and you both it's reciprocal, and you're both feeding off each other's energy. That's what you're doing, an energy exchange when you're playing
And it's
music,
it's
and
even an
feel that.
energy exchange with your bandmates too. Even if there's hardly
Exactly.
anybody
Yeah,
there and you're jamming out
yeah,
together, it's like,
for sure. As long as the
God,
vibe's
you've
good,
been
and you know,
jamming out
we've
with
all
these
had.
guys for so many
Yeah,
years, and then you miss playing with them. You miss jamming
yeah,
out
yeah.
with them.
And that's what
So
it is. It's an energy exchange on another level, you know. And so
yeah,
yeah, and so that's what makes
absolutely
it
boils down to
fun.
energy, bro.
You know, it depends, you know.
So what do you think, in your opinion, right now? Here we are at the peak of summer. Election time's coming up in November. Then we got 2021. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. What do you think? What do you think with what resonates with you right now, and how you foresee everything playing out? There's so much information being thrown around, and a lot of the media. And
We don't know where it will go, but definitely Corona season is definitely going to extend into 2021.
oh yeah,
Sure. So this is just like when you know, after 9/11 and things changed, you know, with the airport, and with a certain loss of, you know, yeah, I don't want to say freedoms. It depends. I don't know. You know, where you now, you know, they want to pat you down, or you know, there's more security and stuff for the
right,
airports,
right,
and certain other things that happened that ensued after that. Um, but yeah, so same thing here. Same thing. You know, it's just I think now more than ever, I guess it's important to try uh, to learn to be more self-sufficient, right?
right. Absolutely. I haven't
You
worked
know,
in 4 months. I haven't worked, and so that's why I'm doing this more. So I figure
yeah,
out. I guess I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to. I don't want to go back into the clubs, and it's not just because of COVID. It's just I've done it for so many years,
yeah, I know you've always told me the,
and I've
you
always
know,
been wanting to get out. So I think I'm going to use this doorway to
and
kind
you
of,
have gotten out at times. You get out and then you go back, you know, because you always, you always maintain a really good relationship with the, you know,
yeah,
managers and stuff.
yeah, of course. No, definitely. And
So you
still to this
always,
day,
you can
I,
always
I
leave and always
miss,
go back if
yeah,
you
I
want.
miss it a little bit here and there, but I just feel like I need to reinvent myself, and I'm going to figure
Yeah,
that out. It's a little
yeah,
uncomfortable, and it's a little, I guess you could say, scary. And then there's your fear base, but I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna go all in and doing something new, and I'll figure it
yeah,
out. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about the outcome, and I'm not gonna put an ultimatum on it. I'm not gonna worry about any of that. I'm just gonna do what resonates, what's gonna fascinate or heighten my excitement. And I'm still kind of just, you know what I mean, figuring that out. But this is what I love doing, so I'm just gonna stick with this
yeah.
and do more podcasts like I've always wanted.
And that's what I think, that we have to reach our highest excitement. You know, do what you know what makes us happy, and sometimes I wonder, sometimes you deviate from that, and yeah,
Right?
I know, I know
Absolutely.
that's yeah, so yeah, got to do what you enjoy, man. Yes, life gets
Yeah,
difficult.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just, you know, I I'm just going through a, like, when you go play, like, I noticed that I had to get out of my apartment, so I was just kind of locking myself up in here, and I was like, I'm gonna go for a
Yeah,
walk, go for a bike ride. Today I went for a drive.
nice.
Past couple of days, and I'm a lot more like, I was just so used to driving around, before the whole COVID thing. So I
Yeah,
kind of I kind of really, to the extreme, quarantine myself for a good couple of months, and I'm finally getting back out, uh,
yeah,
getting some sunlight, taking a walk, going for a bike ride, um, do a little curbside, or if I just go for a joyride, just go for a joyride. I don't actually go anywhere, because, well,
yeah.
nothing's
And
really.
you enjoy riding bikes. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that. So I definitely got back into riding my bike, and still got my couple of bikes. I always want more bikes, but I have to cut down on my bicycle purchases. So, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm just trying to get back out more and out into nature more, sunlight, like I said, and staying grounded
yeah.
and barefoot and doing the earthing, walking barefoot in the
Speaking of
grass.
that, you know what I've been enjoying? Down the street. Oh, I go to the Guadalupe River. There's a canoe library that's open and never closed down.
A canoe,
And
what?
it's called Canoe Library, and it's a place where you have access to the Guadalupe River. It's up 281, uh, and outside of San Antonio. It's about maybe 20 minutes from my house. And I go with my tube. I bring a tube, and I go with the friends, and I go just, and there's a lot of trees, and you're surrounded by trees, and I
And
just
you're
go
into
float.
water. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get my sun, and I didn't do it last week, but maybe I'll do it this weekend. And yeah, I enjoy that, and it's nice to be out in nature and just in the,
It's like a
just,
must. It's a
it just
must
recharges
connect.
your batteries.
It's when I feel my best when I connect to nature. I was going to the lake a lot too, like every day, like Canyon Lake.
Oh
It's
wow.
the Marina Lake over at Canyon Lake. I was going there like,
And
man,
where
I
do
was
you go?
going
Do
like
you go to the beach, or where exactly do you go?
it's like a mini beach. You just go way out 281 and make a left off I-35. God, I forgot the name of the street, of course, and it takes you straight into Canyon Lake, and then you go to the Canyon Lake Marina Beach. That's
Okay.
what it's
Yeah, I
called.
think I've been there. Been a long
It's
time,
pretty
but
cool. It's like a little mini beach, but I was going out there and just getting sun all evening,
yeah.
like every day,
I've been
like
wanting
3-4 days
to
out of the
check
week.
because you know what? I did it last year. I went to Corpus, and just you can sleep on the beach, but I don't know. I don't know. I saw something. They had some. There. I don't know if you can camp starting tomorrow. The rules change, so I don't know if you can camp on the beach or not. I need to find out. But I like to be able to pitch the tent on the beach and wake up to the waves. And go to sleep with the waves.
Absolutely, man. Get that
Really
natural
love that.
circadian
And I wanted
rhythm.
to do it. I wanted to do it like the week before Fourth of July, or the week of Fourth of July, but and leave on Friday, and Fourth of July was a Saturday. But then they had closed down the
It's
beaches. You
perfect,
couldn't do
man.
that.
Take your girl out there.
So I wanted to do that, but
Take your girl out there, a bottle of wine, a little bitty bonfire.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
So I want to see. I was looking today because I would like to go to the beach, but and just spend, even if just one night. I got
Oh,
this 5 minute.
absolutely.
It's bigger,
I know Chris has
and
been going. Like he'll do daytime. Like he'll go to the beach during the day, all day, fish with his son, and then come back home.
well,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's nice too. I
yeah,
don't know. I want to spend, even if it's just one night. Spend the night. I like to
yeah,
wake up
me
there.
too. I'd love to, sunset and night, and then spend a night and wake up. Yeah,
Remember I had like two RV vans, two Class B vans, and I sold them, and I kicked myself for selling them. But I've been looking for the past year and a half, and I've been looking for another one.
I
And
can't
man, I
find
guess
any either.
everybody took up van life or something.
The van
But
life, look, the van life kicked in, dude, in 20 hardcore, like in 2014, 2015.
because I bought my vans
Well,
in 2016,
yeah,
and
you did buy one in 2016. I think right after you sold yours, it exploded. Like,
I noticed because before it took me like 3 weeks to find one. I
yeah,
just
yeah.
look on a hawk,
I've been looking for 5 years.
Texas, Houston, Corpus, and then jump on it, and now I've been
I
looking,
came
and I just,
so close to buying a huge king size Mercedes Sprinter, huge, the biggest one that they make, man, with the double wheels on the back for only 17,000.
yeah.
But it was
Was it
really
a cargo
huge.
at that price, or was it already?
No, it had a queen size bed in it.
Oh, okay, so they built it
Yeah, and
in
it
there.
had
Yeah,
windows.
yeah, I like those sprinters.
It
You
had
know,
a
I
it
don't
had a
know
queen
what.
size bed in it, and it had like I say, the chairs would rotate all the way around. It had a flat screen in there, and it looked like it needed a little bit of some work, but
But it was a home. They built it themselves.
probably,
Because
but
you think,
it looked pretty damn good, and
okay.
it was only like 17. I was like, wow, this is like the best
Yeah, because
deal.
that's cheap. Because
And then I do this. I hate this. I waited. And the next day I went and it was sold.
oh yeah,
Every time I find something, I wait a day and it sells the next day.
yeah, because those sprinters, if it's actually made from the sprinters that's in conjunction with the that the sprinter makes the van, and they have another company that does
Harbor
that does the
Freight.
whole home thing. No,
Harbor
that does the
Freight.
whole
No.
thing. There's
Okay.
different ones. It could be Rocha. There's different ones. I can't think of the names of all of them. Winnebago. I forget all the names. But anyways, they make it, and those cost like over 100,000 brand new.
Yeah.
And used, you see them for maybe
80,000.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so like
The cheapest one I found that was super amazing because I wanted an all black one. King size, longest bed, double wheels in the back. It had black rims on it. It looked tight. It was black on black.
yeah,
Beautiful. And it had the 4x4 like
yeah,
monster tires on them. It
yeah.
just looked like a rock star van, man. And it was one of those new ones. It was like straight up plush, man. And it was for 55 grand. Still kind of high, but I was like the cheapest one I found that was like really juiced up and pimped out.
Yeah, and supposedly, because of this pandemic, from when I was seeing an RV dealer, I saw something. I don't know if I saw it on TV or something, saying, yeah, a lot of people are buying RVs now and stuff. I guess because they want to get out of the house,
I've
and
seen, yeah.
yeah,
One
they're
thing
going
that I
because
saw,
when they close down the beach on Fourth of July, the RV parks are open. So but you have to have an RV, to
yeah,
either a
yeah.
fifth wheel or whatever.
I think it'd be
Uh,
great to have in the States, but like there's this couple I follow on YouTube and they went to Morocco and they almost got stuck in Morocco during the pandemic and they needed all this paperwork to get back to their home, which was in Europe, which is right above Africa.
yeah,
And they went through hell. They barely made it out of Morocco on a ferry to get back home and their van broke down like
I've
twice.
ridden
And
that ferry. I've ridden that ferry from Spain to Morocco.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I on the bus ride to the ferry, from
Yeah,
I don't
you're right.
remember
It
what
is from
city,
Morocco to Spain. Yeah. And
and on the bus ride to I don't remember from what city to what city. I was sitting in across from me. There was another guy. I thought it was a Spanish guy, so I started talking to him, and it ended up being a Moroccan guy. And so we became friends, like kind of on the bus, just talking on the whole trip. And then we're going to the ferry, and because he always goes on the ferry, and
right.
I'll go with him, and then we talk on the ferry, and then when we arrive in Morocco. He's like, so where are you going? He's like, I don't know, I'm just going where the wind blows. You know where you're staying tonight? No, I'm just going. That's the way I travel. I just want to. I go. You know.
Wow.
And he's like, hey, you should come stay with me. I live in Rabat, which is the capital city. So then I went, took a 2-hour bus ride to a city, stayed with him, and his family made home cooked meals, and
Wow.
I
Are you
get to
still
eat.
friends with these people till today? Or are you still stayed in
Yeah,
contact?
2009 that when I did this, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still friends with him. Yeah, I haven't gone back, but I'm still
Wow,
friends with
man.
him.
That's so cool. There you go. See, that's one perfect example of how you're following your highest excitement and then all these doors open.
Yeah.
Infinite possibilities happening all over and around.
Yeah, the band thing. I'm still looking for one, but yeah, I like the European bands. They have the smaller ones, but they're more ergonomically designed.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do really
I think
well with the
Volkswagen is coming out with a new one, or they already did it. Oh no, it's
yeah,
2020.
different ones. Yeah, but you know what? A lot of the vans we're getting from Europe, like the Sprinter, was already in use in Europe. The new Ram from Dodge, because Fiat, Italian company, bought Dodge, so they're the Fiat, the new the Ram vans that you see, the box ones.
I haven't seen them.
Those are, yeah, the
2020?
box. No, they've been around for a few years. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah, I've seen them. I
They're
test drove them.
they're boxy looking ones.
I
And
resonated. They have a lot more room in the
and
Rams.
Ford, these are all European models that
And
they're
yes,
bringing.
and when I resonated more with the Ford. I test drove the Ford Transit Cargo, and it
Yeah.
was like the best, most. I felt like I was driving a car. That's how comfortable it
Oh.
felt up front.
Out of those three, I've only driven the Sprinter, and I like it was light, but it was kind of it wasn't built out as an RV. It
No,
just had
I test
had
drove.
some had bunk beds in it, and then it was a cargo kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
mine was a passenger. It was black. It was beautiful. It had the AC unit in the top and then to go to the back because it was a passenger, and it was a black on not black on black, but it was black the way I like it. Yeah, I just want an all black one. I guess to be reclusive at night. You know what I mean? Or
yeah,
elusive at night. And I was gonna pull all the passenger seats out. Like if I found a passenger one, I could just pull all the
yeah.
passenger seats out and sell them on
You know what
eBay.
I wanted to do? I would like to get a Stealth, and I looked at one. Actually, there was somebody selling a Chevy, the Chevy vans, white, that look like the white worker vans,
Yeah,
but I didn't like the build on it. It was a home, they had the bed that went against the wall, and then it
yeah.
flipped open, but it had electricity, but I don't know, it didn't convince me. But anyways, I met up with them, and there was this, where are they from? I can't remember where they were from. They're from Europe. I don't know if they were from Belgium or I don't remember now. I want to say Belgium or Holland. But at any rate, and then I invite them. Hey, you guys, I invite them to stay, so I can sleep in a real bed. I have extra room, invite them to
Hmm.
stay in. But I didn't buy their van, and they stayed at the house. Complete strangers trusted me, and
Yeah.
where was I going with this? Oh, I would like to get like a white van, panel van, so it looks like a worker's van, and that, and then have and built out. But see, I don't have those
Yeah.
carpentry skills. I don't have any of those skills to cut metal
They
and do all
show
that.
there's a lot of people that don't have carpentry skills and they just kind of wing it, in their
I don't want to
van.
make a mistake. I don't
Yeah,
want to make,
they're
yeah.
tying stuff up with bungee cords inside.
I don't know. you want to have everything secured. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want to make.
I totally was gonna hire Mark for carpentry at
Yeah,
Max.
because you get a cold. You want to put the vents. You want to put one vent for the air to come in and one vent and vent.
Yes.
The max fan.
Or
You
you
take it out.
can or if it doesn't have windows, you can make windows, but they're expensive.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I would like to have it all panels. That way you can
Yeah.
park anywhere
Yeah.
and people will not be alarmed. You know, if you see a camper, but like the first one had the turtle top, so you could tell it had the bed on top. It looked like both of them looked like camper vans, but one looked more than the
I
other
like
because it had
the one in 2016 that you got. That was a dope.
the
The one you
turtle top.
bought in Corpus?
Yeah, that you stood up in, and it was still you had an
Yeah, six
inch.
foot
Yeah,
five, and I was still standing up.
yeah,
That was a
and
dope one.
yeah, and I kick myself. Those are hard to find. But those, if you park it in a neighborhood, people know, oh, there's somebody. I don't. No one
Yeah.
owns that one. You know, if you park it somewhere, people know, oh, someone's sleeping in there. You know. But if you get one that's a white panel van, looks like a worker's van, even if it's a high top like the Sprinters, and there's some that they build them out. They're really nice, but it just looks like a worker van, so it doesn't raise any eyebrows. You know.
Yeah. I've looked in hours and I looked at, you know, people converting their vans for hours and hours on YouTube, man, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, you have to have those skills. You have to have the tools, and cut
I
metal,
mean, yeah,
and then
the tools that we're using are expensive. I mean, you can't just
you
do it
can
with a
rent them.
saw and a screwdriver and you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, but so yeah, I don't, that's I have a friend in Mexico that he has those skills. He's not an
Yeah.
engineer, but he is quite close to it. He designs stuff for his tractors and stuff like that.
We have Mark Jacobs.
Yeah.
He's got the tools and that dude can
What
build
do you call him? MacGyver?
Mark Guyver. He could build anything. So I was like, I told Mark, hey Mark, if I get a cargo van, will you help me convert it? Yeah. Easy. I do it in a week. I believe him.
Well, yeah, because he's one of those people that when he sets his mind to something, it just
Yeah, he did that with his bar during when they
yeah.
shut the bars down, he totally remodeled his bar. Like the day they
So
shut him down
yeah,
on March the 18th, and he got to work and tore the whole floor out. He tore the bar out. He tore everything out and
cool.
redid it all. Just him and Ace alone. But yeah, nobody else. You and Mark are very innovative, know how to do things very efficiently and for the best way to do something with less amount of money. You and Mark are
Yeah.
really good at doing that. I've seen you convert houses, man. You do a really good job in converting houses and decorate, like interior designing a whole entire house. Pretty cheap, pretty well. Your photos on your photos on what is it? Airbnb look amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
What you did to your house, the last one you got.
Yeah,
Looks amazing.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So
It's fun. I like decorating, on the homes. Yeah, it's just
I'm good at
it's
hanging
hard.
up. I'm good at hanging up Christmas lights, man. I did that
There
for
you go.
17 years at the club. So you ever need somebody you need me to do Christmas lights when the holidays are coming around, man? We'll have a COVID-19 Christmas
There you go.
light event. But well, here we are, man. In I guess we'll see what happens as we go along from the peak of summer. I guess get out there, get some sunlight. You know what I mean? What would you like to say to our viewers from this point on? As many people are stressed out and stuck inside and frustrated, and it's
I feel
everywhere.
them, and I think I feel them. I understand. I get frustrated too. So
Yeah,
with
same here. I get frustrated to the point where like I got to get out and I'll just take a walk outside and I feel a whole lot better. So a simple walk actually works.
Yeah, but engage
Right.
in something that you enjoy, whether it's walking, whether it's bike riding, whether it's like me, I like to go tubing, and I can do it because there's a river that's open and didn't close down. Whatever it is, but just take some time
I
for
notice when
yourself.
you
But
go, nobody's there. It's just you and your couple of buddies that you're there with. I don't see hardly
there are some
anybody.
other people, but it's very scattered. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, there are people canoeing and stuff, but it's just not a lot of people. Yeah, and I was enjoying going to New Braunfels because they have this chute.
Yeah. Yeah. I call it the poop chute.
New Braunfels doesn't look natural because they
You're talking about the Comal, right?
Yeah, but that one's not nature. It's within a city, and it doesn't
Yes.
have don't have the trees right out. It's
Yeah,
cemented
I call that one the poop chute. Yeah, it's man-made.
where where the one I go to is natural. I mean, there's houses you can see that's their backyards, but there's trees and it's all
Yeah,
natural, and it feels like you
that's
can go.
Guadalupe, right?
I'm an explorer going down the river,
Just
and
I heard just with the Guadalupe River, it may look still on top, but there's currents underneath that still water that are pulling underneath. So I had a couple of friends drown in the
oh,
Guadalupe
wow.
before, and
There's different. It's so long, but yeah, wow.
yeah, well, the thing is they dive in, thinking that the water is just calm and it's easy, but then that layer of water, that
Under
layer
the
of water,
influence of alcohol.
there's underlying currents that are going underneath the still
Yeah,
water, and they get
yeah,
caught in the currents underneath, and next thing you know, they're gone. You don't find them till further down the river. It pulled them
yeah,
under and took them all the way down.
yeah,
And so yeah, nature is got some wildness to it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So not trying to impose any fear on you or anything. Just I'm pretty sure you know about that under the underlying currents and rivers.
Yeah, but I'm assuming I know a lot of people that I know that drown in these. They, if they're going to rivers, were they under the influence of alcohol? Because maybe if you drank too much,
Oh yeah,
you know,
I'm
it
sure.
affects your ability of your body to keep a certain temperature. And
Holding your
yeah,
breath and going down. Yeah, no, sure.
that's
9 times out of 10, everyone's drinking on the river. Come on, man. Can't go down the river without a beer.
I don't know how people can drink in the sun, man. It's just
No,
too hot.
it's too hot.
It's just, mm-mm,
Not a good idea.
yeah,
People do it all the time, dude. All day,
you know,
all day. Just pounding
yeah,
those beers all day out in the sun. Their butts in the
yeah,
water,
yeah, no.
get all red.
You know what? You know what? I don't get burns. I don't
No,
use
you don't.
sunscreen.
No, I'm talking
You know,
about people that drink. Their
yeah.
complexion
Oh,
turns
because they
really.
need sunglasses. But yeah,
Yeah.
probably that's.
No,
Yeah,
you have a
drinking.
couple. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you got a pretty good tan. You got a nice. You
Uh,
got some vitamin D.
I skipped my 1 week, my weekly tubing last week, so
Oh man, you got a good color,
I'm
and you're very light
a
complected.
little lighter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I was getting dark, dude. I was working on my Julio Iglesias tan, and then that's when I
Well,
got sick.
speaking of which, I saw him last year.
I got sick, and then I've been quarantined ever since. Like I just started getting out the past couple of days. Well, last week with the bike rides, but just stepping out and running errands, dropping things off, going to my mailbox, dropping off stuff at the UPS, simple stuff.
Yeah.
So, and it's making me happier just to see the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a
Got
pretty
it.
good view from my apartment right here. I feel like I'm in a tree house. There's a big oak tree right outside my sliding door.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right? But I'm the kind of guy that likes to be out and about. Like to be out.
Yeah.
So, well, dude, thanks for spending some time and
Yeah, likewise.
catching up right here on the Galaxy podcast. Appreciate you
Sure.
tuning in. We haven't done this for a couple of years. Of course, the last time it was at my studio apartment.
Yep, over there on Broadway.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
still got that up on the YouTube channel. So those who are looking, just feel free to like and subscribe. And we'll be back more. Ivo and I, we're gonna get together. We're gonna get together with another person or another friend. We don't know who it is yet, but we're coming back really soon together with another
And
guest.
we want to
Tonight,
go
we
over.
just wanted to polish up and talk and catch up. And while we're all locked up in COVID, we just wanted to
Yeah.
share each other's experiences and what we're doing on a daily life here and the now in COVID 2020. Yeah,
All right.
cool, brother.
See ya. See
We'll see you. We'll see you soon.
you. We'll talk.
Everyone
The
stay
way,
safe. What do you tell everyone to stay safe, wear their mask or what?
huh? I think follow your highest calling,
Follow your highest calling. Go
and
within.
and get informed. It's good to listen to all three sides of an argument.
Find some hydroxychloroquine. I don't know. That's the new thing right now.
Yeah, I don't even have. Sometimes I figure out I've unfollowed a certain amount of people just so I don't have to hear certain things. But it's just there was a video that came out about Yugoslavia, well, the former Yugoslavia, and how they got the people against each other. You pick a side. Now the
Divide
big
and
thing is
conquer.
if you believe in this, you're automatically a Republican. If you believe in this, you're automatically a liberal Democrat. It's like there's no in between. It's only
You're either
this or
this or
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's best not to watch mainstream media. Best not, yeah. That's okay. I just say, keep your sanity, people, and don't get uh, don't get your feathers ruffled too easily.
Yeah, it's happening a lot, and sometimes I catch
I propose this,
my
and
feathers ruffling.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
we all
whatever happened to Green Party? Does it still exist? I voted Green 4 years ago. I didn't vote for Trump or whoever was running last. I don't remember, but I voted Green. I think it was Jill, some chick named Jill something.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I
I didn't
don't
even
keep up
know.
with
I just said I just figured, well, it's green. I didn't do any research. I just wanted to vote for
that.
the first time
I'm
ever in
kind
my
of
life.
kind of apolitical, but even though as small business owner, technically the Republican Party that does, is more advantageous for those who have their own businesses. But I don't belong to I'm not affiliated with any political party, any religion, or nothing
Same
like
here.
that.
Yeah. I'm not part of any gang either.
So
Yeah. I think the only gang I'm in is my cellular gang. The cells that are keeping me alive right now. They're my only gang.
yeah, you got a lot of them.
Yeah.
And you know what you have more than cells? Bacteria and viruses.
Dude,
You got many
those,
more
yeah,
cells
and
than
they're
cells.
all in us. They're all in
Yeah,
us.
we're each a galaxy. You
Yes,
know.
we are a galaxy. That's why I named myself Galaxy. All the cells in my galaxy, all the planets, all the planetary systems and stars, and
Yeah,
yeah,
and we have symbiosis with bacteria and viruses, and
you are the god of your own galaxy.
yeah, and humans have lived a long time, and with many viruses, and so
Well, they're
it, it,
saying that this one isn't a virus, not really a virus. I saw it was a Dr. Greer or Dr. that alien contactee guy who's a paramedic. You know what I'm talking about?
now people are going to discredit you. You're talking about alien contactees and alien document.
Oh
You
yeah, it
must
does.
be a Trump supporter.
Right? I don't even know what. Yeah, I
You
just like
conspiracy theorist, you.
be open to infinite possibilities. Have an open mind. Do your
Yeah,
research with an open mind.
yeah.
You pick
But
a
anyways,
side, you pick a side and you close your door to infinite.
I interrupted you and went on tangent. But anyways, he was saying
Oh,
what about it?
oh no, no, no. He
Not
was just saying that it's not even alive. What it does, it's what is it? It is a
all
an attack.
viruses aren't alive.
It
Yeah.
attaches. I forgot what he called it. It wasn't necessarily a virus. It's not alive. It's an attachment. It attaches itself to the human the human body in a cellular structure. I don't know. I just saw a
Yeah, to
little
the
video
cell.
today. There's so many videos out there right now that I'm going through. I'll stumble. I'm not looking for them, but I'll stumble into them, and then I was like, I'll hear their perspective.
Yeah, you can listen to different perspective, different doctors' perspectives,
They're
whether
not
they
even
be med-
doctors, or well,
yeah,
yeah,
whether
they
they be
are. One of them's a
PhD,
doctor,
medical doctors, naturopathic doctors,
naturopathic.
chiropractic, and everybody. It doesn't matter. Then if you're on one side and you'll say, oh well, that's not credible. That's a chiropractor or that's a PhD. No, no, no. And then a medical doctor speaks out about something. No, no, that's not credible either because it's not what I want them to say. It's not promoting the
It's a
rhetoric
double-sided sword.
I'm conditioned with and that I resonate with. Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy on either side. But yeah, it's a
Double-sided
crazy
sword.
time.
It's no
It's a
matter what you
crazy time
say.
with the censorships.
Yeah, you're a
Am
racist. You're a racist no matter what.
I in Nazi Germany? Censorship of Facebook, censorship of YouTube. No, the freedom of information is undermined right now, and this is
Yeah.
something that's eye opening. And I'm hoping that humanity will do what they'll do. We'll go to what we'll always what will happen will what will need to happen because that's exactly where we are collectively and exactly what we need to learn and to grow. So whatever happens because that's exactly what we are attracting as a collective, and so we
I
have
think I
control.
think the worse things get, the better.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see. But I say don't be fearful. Get informed. Take in different
Yeah.
different perspectives, and this will vary on someone's intellectual ability, on how many how if they'll be able to take on and have the the ability to the concentration ability to be able to read or and to get informed on different things, and and the most important thing, build your immune system, try to be as healthy as you can. If you have underlying conditions, health conditions, well, try to do things to ameliorate them, instead of continuing things that maybe don't do you well. And we all get to choose things that maybe aren't so good for us, but
Right.
maybe you know depending on what we have, will determine in our genetic predisposition if we'll be able to do them or not, and maybe not do them so regularly or whatever. So everybody, I think, is the king of their own destiny, and I think that people do what they really want to do in the end. I don't listen to what people say. I'd rather see what they do, and a lot of times what comes out of people's mouth don't doesn't match up with their actions, right? So I think but
Yeah. Well
try to
said.
do the best you can, and try to, if you're in those high risk, if you're one of the high risk people, we'll try to do things to ameliorate. It's never it's too late to start. To get to better yourself, and one day, you know get out of that category, possibly. Rome
What was that
wasn't
word
built in.
again? Did you said ameliorate? What is it?
Yeah, to get to make a condition better, or to make something
Right.
better.
What's the word
It's
again? Ameliorate.
ameliorate.
Ameliorate. To get
Yeah,
better. To reverse a modality, maybe. Right.
it's from Latin. It's a Latin-based word, and it's just to to make a condition better.
Yeah.
You can better yourself. You can better the condition, or
Yeah.
the situation. You can better it. That's what it means. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Well said, man. Love
Mhm.
yourself. All right, man. Thanks again, Ivo. Really great talking to you always. And we will be back soon here on Galaxy again with Ivo. He's definitely going to come back. I hope he will. I always love having him, having you as a guest. And we'll bring somebody else in, have another a number three guest so we can
All right.
share
Maybe
more.
we can do four. Shoot, this is Zoom. You can do 100 people. I mean,
Wow.
it's unlimited. No, I'm
Oh, they'll
not
just
saying you do
separate
that,
in the
but I'm just saying
middle.
it could be.
Blue,
It could be. Yeah, it could
Democrats,
be.
Republicans, Democrats, Republicans. No.
It could be.
It'd be a Zoom riot
Yeah, could all talk
inside
about
a
it for.
Zoom chat. Everybody just free for all. A verbal riot.
Mhm.
Well, let's see. Let's see what we can do the next time, man. We could maybe grab Jorge or Chris or whoever.
Yeah, that'd be
But
good.
yeah, man, great talking to you. You have an amazing weekend. I know you're what's tomorrow, Saturday. What you got going on tomorrow?
See, tomorrow's Saturday. I actually don't. I always forget. My memory is not as good as it used to be. But no, I don't have anything that I have to have. Sunday, I have things I have to do. Tomorrow, I'm trying to see if I committed to something or not. I always forget.
Right. Right.
But yeah, tomorrow I'm free.
I have no
Tomorrow,
idea what I'm gonna do tomorrow. That's okay. I'm gonna.
I'm gonna get out tomorrow night though. Don't know where, but I'm gonna get out tomorrow
Are
night.
there any
Yeah.
places open?
Restaurant bars are open, and as long as your sales are more than 50% in food, then you can remain open at 50%.
5150.
Yeah, 51.49. so
Oh,
so if
sorry,
you're playing,
5149.
yeah,
Yes.
as long as you sell 51% food and 49% alcohol, you can remain open. The moment you sell 51% of your sales are alcohol, you got to close.
Ah, because I've seen some bars open and they must have food.
Yeah, there's plenty of all over San Antonio, plenty of restaurant bars,
It's crazy. Yeah.
plenty. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool, man.
yeah,
Well, and,
and then people are drinking, and somehow I don't know, the social distancing, gets a little gray.
oh yeah, of course. No, when I was at work DJing at the
People drink
club,
a lot.
everyone showed up with their
It's
masks.
live music. I go to Costa Pacifica sometimes to see if they're in Blanco and 1604 to go see some friends play. They go play, and I enjoy getting a little loud music.
It's not crowded.
No, but but it's packed as they can be with 50% capacity.
Yeah, and everybody's O positive. They do a DNA check. They do a blood test.
Or maybe type
It's
O
O
negative.
positive Saturday nights. Be O positive and get in free.
Yeah.
You see
You'll have to
Gerald coming in.
talk to Gerald about that.
He's the king of O positive.
Yeah, and he's a very positive person.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My eyes were open, but I was in a jungle with big spiders, and I was moving. Trying to move. It's like, because our eyes can only see a certain amount of light, the light spectrum. We can only see so much of physical reality, right? We're very
Right.
limited with it.
Right. We don't have infrared.
But can we switch to a different, And that's what I'm saying. Are we in between? Sometimes in between dimensions, because
Yeah.
I've had some situations where I just can't explain. And I'm sure if you go to psychologists or, they will try to explain it in a certain way, and, that's fine.
In a scientific
We,
way. Right. Yeah.
but I've had certain things where I can't explain what happened.
Absolutely. But I think that deep down inside with your intuition, your deep down intuition, it was real in
Yeah.
some
Or
form.
even in dreams that were real, and that.
Even in a dream state, it was real.
And I remember I repeat the same places that only exist in dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I know them. They're very familiar to me.
Right. That happens a lot. Not a lot to people, but certain people it happens to a lot, like yourself, and myself too. I've gone to places in my dreams that I've seen or been before, and then I wake up, it's like, damn, I've never been there in this physical reality, but in my dream state I go back.
Hmm.
So it's really interesting, and I think that that's what's going on right now. We're getting these exciting times of what's going on right now. It's catapulting. I think it's catapulting humanity more into spiritual awakening. I think a lot of people are becoming more spiritual with this whole fucking circus going on, dude. A lot of people people are waking up. They're freaking out. They're angry, and at the same time they don't know who to turn to, and the next thing you know they discover themselves. I don't know. I think it's supposed to happen. I think that this is a very essential experience for humanity to go through,
Yeah.
because it can go either way. It can either go really bad, or it can go bad to the point where we catapult into the bright side of the spectrum. Rubber band effect. And I think that, like I said earlier, I think the more the worst, the more crazier the things get, the better the outcome. I don't know why. Maybe I'm thinking about the rubber band effect.
Yeah.
I think humanity needs this. A lot of people are changing. A lot of people are changing at home. They're spending more time at home. You know what I mean? And they have more time to rethink and evaluate. You know,
Yeah. But what do you think is going to happen when they're still at home next year?
we don't know. Just click your heels.
Yeah, we'll see.
Awesome, dude.
Because there's this idea that, that's why the government, they're paying us, and if they're going to extend this, if they don't want riots or, protests, they're going to have to pay us, by unemployment or stimulus checks. So it'll be interesting, because then we're turning into a socialist, communist, you know, type type of thing. And
Slowly,
also
but
it's going to,
slowly and gradually, though.
and then we're going to devalue. We already have a lot of socialist programs anyway. We're a socialist democracy, but then we're going to, our dollars, with all this spending, our dollar, the money, whoever, if you have it in the bank, is not going to be worth the same. So that's what I'm worried, because I need to like buy some hard assets, something, because I don't know when the dollar is going to go down. If we
Tomorrow.
keep, because if we keep at this pace, you know, paying, the stimulus, the unemployment, you got to devaluate the
Creating
dollar.
money out of nowhere.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And that means if you have, and it happened in countries, it's happened in Argentina in 2001, where from people had money in the bank from one day to the next, it was worthless.
Yeah, like I said,
People,
this can happen. Knock on wood, we're talking about this now, but it can happen tomorrow.
yeah, it can. So, I'm looking for stuff, because I got to put my
Does it
money in
matter if we
stuff.
pull our money out? Because our money won't be worth shit anyway.
No, but if you buy a home, if you buy hard assets, gold, silver,
Yeah.
then then whatever, if the money falls and they implement, digital currency or something, they make a cashless society.
Yeah.
Your home or whatever your hard asset, what's gold, silver, it'll be reevaluated at whatever the new currency is.
Yeah.
So you kind of it helps buffer and it helps save.
I think the best hard asset would be God money, which is gold and silver.
Yep. So.
Cha-ching. I'm gonna get online tonight and see how expensive gold and silver is right now.
Yeah.
It's probably
So
like,
I mean, that's the thing, to have. But then, do you have it virtually, or do you put gold bullions and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look,
I got a gold chain.
I got these, dude. These are worth a lot of money. You put them in your mouth and they melt and they taste amazing.
What is it? Oh,
it's a dark chocolate covered mint.
So it's
awesome. All right, Ivo, I'll let you get some Z's. I know you're gonna turn in early, right? You usually go to bed around this time.
No, not yet. No, I'll be up a little bit. I'll be up. I've actually been up till 2, roughly 1:32.
Awesome.
Lately. All right.
Well, peace, my brother.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. All right. Bye.